All right, so another a comic book review from my good friend Chris. Thank you as always, brother. And today we're going to be talking about Flash Gordon, Volume 2, Killer of Worlds. This continues the Jeremy Adams run of Flash Gordon. I did a review of Escape from Planet Death a few months ago, so I finally got Volume 2. Yeah, the Mad Cave books have been really solid. I didn't really care much for Gatchaman. For some reason, I just couldn't connect with it. But I have really loved Dick Tracy, and I'm kind of digging this. But I'm a little weirded out of where we're going direction wise. I'm kind of like, where are we going with this? Because this goes in a direct, like the first volume, it kind of gives you an idea as to where they're headed, where they're traveling to. But then it goes into a completely different direction, which I appreciate. I do appreciate when a comic is like, oh, we're going this way now. As long as you make it work, it's cool. And right now, I'm just kind of the mindset of, all right, Jeremy, you've done really outlandish things in your other comics, in your DC books, especially like your Flash and your Green Lantern and, some other comics here and there. So I'll keep an open mind of where you're going, but sure. So yeah, for a little context as to what this comic is about, basically this series, and I did an interview with Jeremy Adams at MegaCon, which you guys can find on the channel, talking a bit about his Flash Gordon run. Basically, in the comic, in this series, Ming was about to create a doomsday machine that was going to destroy Earth. However, Flash Gordon managed to stop him, but in doing so, he ended up accidentally destroying the planet Mongo itself, and the planet was destroyed, and Flash woke up in a planet called Planet Death, which is a prison world. He has to team up with Ming and a robotic version of Dr. Zarkov, his ally, and now he has to go find Dale, who is apparently the new Empress. We learn more about that here. So yeah, basically in the interview, Jeremy told me that the reason why I was like, wow, man, you basically went with a Mad Max kind of feel with Flash Gordon. Like, what was the big driving force of destroying Mongo? And Jeremy basically explained in a weird... he didn't really go into specifics because they didn't give him specifics, but, like, they couldn't use the planet Mongo. Like, apparently that word wasn't allowed. I don't know if that's a racial slur or something of that nature, or maybe it's a rights thing. I don't know, but they told him we couldn't use the planet Mongo, so I was like, cool, I'll get rid of it. So that was the antithesis of his whole story was, if I can't use Mongo, then no one can use Mongo. Never mind that shit. There goes Planet Mongo. I salute every one of you who caught that reference. So yeah, so in the first volume, he now has to team up with Robot Zarkov and Ming the Merciless. We get more of Ming's backstory in that comic, and now we are headed into finding finding what happened to Dale, who in the tease was basically like she's believed to be the new Empress of the planetary remnants. So in here, Ming and Flash go to a safe house that Ming has, and immediately Ming goes, "Fooled you," and tries to kill him and Zarkov. Eventually, Flash escapes while Zarkov is left to die in a trap left by Ming. Ming goes off immediately to rebuild his empire, which I was like, wow, we're really I was kind of interested in the dichotomy between Ming and Flash. I was really kind of hoping for more of that, and who knows, maybe we'll get that again, especially with how we end this comic. But I was actually surprised as to how fast, because even Jeremy told me in the interview, don't expect them to be friends. It's Ming the Merciless for a reason. So I was actually surprised. I knew that was good. It was one of those, you knew it was going to happen, but I'm shocked of how fast it was. So Ming goes off to rebuild his empire, while Flash meets the Birdmen again, and allies with them once more after dealing with their lives. and learning more about the planet. He also finds out that Dale is betrothed to a man named Anton Malum, who claims to be more deadlier than Ming. You don't really care about Antum. I'm gonna be honest. You don't really Antum. Really doesn't mean anything here. He is just basically a minor obstacle with the whole thing going on with Dale, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, so the other things that happen is that we get more of Flash Gordon's backstory, like his time living in the Midwest, him living with his father, which I really like that. No one really goes into, we all know Flash Gordon is a, quarterback and all that, but we never go into his backstory. And it's very clear that he took a lot of inspiration from writing Green Lantern, or maybe, because you see a lot of Hal Jordan and Flash Gordon, especially how Jeremy writes them, writing without fear, wanting to have a family, things like that. And there's actually a lot of great human moments too, especially with the bird people and all that, and other elements. And it's very clear Jeremy Adams really loves space opera stuff, and it's very clear that he probably read a lot. I didn't get to ask him that question, but a lot of Flash Gordon, because he makes some super deep cuts throughout the series. Yeah. So here's the big twist with Dale. It's not Dale. But it is. It's a Dale from an alternate Earth. That's right, we're doing Earth 2 stuff, where it's an evil version of Dale who, excuse me, switched places with our Dale to be the new Empress, and married Anton Malum, who, again, they build him up as the new, big villain. It doesn't matter. He don't matter. What does matter is we're doing alternate Earths now, right out the gate. We're not even, we're only 10 issues in, and we're oh, we're doing alternate Earths, and the next big villain is Earth 2 Flash Gordon? What? Okay. I think they're trying to say, Ming's machine tore a hole in the universe, if I'm not mistaken, in, the multiverse. But yeah, I never expected multiversal wars, in a Flash Gordon book, so I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of I wasn't expecting multiverse stuff, and I kind of don't know if I want it or not, but I am interested to see where we're going in Volume 3. I do want to see what happens, because again, while I'm not fully on board with it, I'm I've give Jeremy Adams enough as a writer to give him a pass and see how it plays out. All in all, Flash Gordon Killer of Worlds went into a completely new direction, but still feels like Flash Gordon. Again, it's the multiverse stuff that's bothering me. Anyway, so there you go. I highly recommend the Mad Cave Flash Gordon books. But yeah, so once again, I'd like to thank my good friend Chris for this book and others. And other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.